And Maria said at first they talked about moving into Tom's place, but she's not comfortable with paying someone else's mortgage. Then she said if we are together for 4, 5, or 6 years, and she's paid a huge chunk of his mortgage, and then she's out on her own after that, that's not a good look. I didn't like that at all.
Why? Here's the thing that interested me about this, right? Because you and I talked about this before, and I think you and I hear two completely different things here. Tell us, Live Crew, tell us, Replay Gang, what do you think is being said here? Is she wrong for saying this? Because even the sister agreed. Even the sister said, yeah, I get that part of not paying somebody else's mortgage. She says, now, keep in mind, she also said in her culture, the man's expected to be able to take care of the house, right? But then what she says after that is, we talked about moving in. I don't want to pay the mortgage, his mortgage, for 4 to 6 years, and then all I've done is pay off a chunk of his mortgage. Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't she saying in this space, if I'm going to pay this mortgage, my name needs to be on the deed, or we need to have our own mortgage? And it's not, I'm not, because you're not, if somebody moves into your house, are they going to pay your mortgage?
No, because here's the thing. This is why I know everything is BS. And people in the comments, because Yonni and I have been arguing about this. So,
and you're going to get your feelings hurt because I am right.
No,
go ahead.
I'm not getting feelings hurt. If someone moved into my house, I'm paying the mortgage because I've been paying it. I don't need your money to pay it. I've been doing it. So what she is saying is she doesn't want to pay for breakfast. She doesn't want to pay for lunch. She doesn't
in the
want to
early
pay for
courting
dinner.
phases.
She doesn't want to pay part of his mortgage. Now, he didn't ask her to pay part of his mortgage that I know of, but if you move into the house, there's certain things you got to pay. She's saying that, no, I don't want to pay part of his mortgage because we're together 4 to 6 years. Doesn't matter. Now, let's go with your argument. Let's say Tom says, you know what, let's get married. I'm going to sell my place and me and you get our own place together. And that way we can both be on the lease or on the deed and pay the mortgage. If they still divorce in 4 to 6 years, one of them is going to walk away with equity. Everyone else might not. So it's not about her being
equity,
on the
deed. They
deed.
got split regardless.
But it's not about her being on the deed. It's just she doesn't want to pay for any of that because
that's not what she said. That is not what she said. That is not what she said. You heard what you wanted to hear because you heard that what you also heard was that she said in the initial stages the man pays for stuff, which is that's not out of the norm here in the States. With the mortgage, she said she didn't want to pay the mortgage that he gets. She gets nothing out of it. Now, there are people in the chat that are saying,
to pay the mortgage that he's been paying this whole time? That makes no sense.
Part of what people are saying in the chat is, well, if you're paying rent, then why wouldn't you pay on that too? The difference is that you're paying in somebody else's, and that's a difference.
Why would Tom ask her to do that? I can afford my mortgage with or without anybody. If someone moved into my house tomorrow, I'm not gonna be like, hey, so I'm gonna need $1,200. I'm not doing that. I got the mortgage. You buy groceries. You buy some other stuff. You make sure my car's washed. When I say make sure my car's not like your fist were down. But the extras of like buying, get my car washed, buying some clothes, you can own that. I got the mortgage. I got all the bills that come with my house. I don't need your help with that. Why would Tom ask her to move in and then expect her to pay half his mortgage? That makes no sense. What man would ask that? Would you ask a woman to move in with you?
Okay, so here's my question. Here's my question, because you're going on this like he never asked her that. She said they talked about it, her moving into his house.
Right.
Obviously, as been said in the chat, he is big on 50-50. So if that's the case, they've had a discussion that they would have to pay half. If obviously if you're going to assume all the other stuff, you better assume that part too. Don't assume on the part that works for your side of the argument.
You're assuming that they had a conversation that Tom said, my mortgage is X, I need you to bring in 50%. We don't know if they had that conversation. What Tom is saying is he wants a woman that wants to contribute. I'm saying that Maria doesn't want to contribute because she doesn't want to pay for a simple thing as breakfast. Like that's embarrassing for her to pay for breakfast after she offered.
Interesting question. Why you assuming he asked?
Yeah. So don't know that. I don't know that he asked her. I can't argue that he did. All I'm saying is it wouldn't make sense for Tom at 38 to expect a 30-year-old to come into his house and pay half his mortgage. And she said 4, 5, or 6 years. So it's not like she just said, I don't want to move in and pay a monthly deal. She's thinking that we get married, we're together 4 to 6 years, and it doesn't work out. I've just paid on your mortgage.
Yep.
That's just a weird argument to make. And I don't think that she wants to be on the deed. I think she doesn't want to pay for the mortgage, Period.
That's not what she said, though. Again.
It is.
Now, we're splitting the chat because Toya's saying preach Terrell, but that's not what it is. And even Shanice is saying, "Oh, Maria doesn't want to spend 1 red cent." That is not what was said even in the pods. No, wait a minute.
In the chat that
Hello.
agrees with you.
Oh, there are a lot of people in the chat that agree with me. Stop that. They've been posting up the whole time. You just act like you didn't see them. Stop that. But here's the point. I want to point this out just to make you feel good so you can feel like you actually have an argument that's going. But the point of the matter is when Tom was like, well, what if I want to stay home? She said, well, you stay your ass at home. I will go work. It doesn't matter. Y'all acted like she said she doesn't want to pay for anything. She said in the initial courtship stages, which is what a lot of women in these United States of America say. So don't act like it's a cultural thing only for her. Stop it. You're damn lying. To yourself.
Okay. So how long is the initial? You're from St. Kitts. You're not from the U.S., so you have a different perspective.
Yes,
what
you're right.
I
can see the bullshit you're saying.
Is the initial courtship phase? Is it 7 years? Is the initial courtship?
That is not what.
Because
that
she
is
said
not what
4,
she
5,
said.
or 6 years.
Because she doesn't want to pay his mortgage. You keep missing that point. You keep missing that point. She doesn't want to pay his mortgage. She said she didn't want to pay anything.
Okay, so if he said you don't got to pay me rent, but you got to buy groceries, she should be okay with that.
Then if that's the discussion, then they can have that. But she said she didn't want to pay the rent.
But we
they
don't
won't pay his
what they
mortgage.
had.
Yeah, exactly. But you want to argue on the point to try to prove your point, which is not going to work. It's not working.
All I gotta say is Amazon Beauty, thank you.
Yeah, see, that's the difference. You can only find the people that will they'll say something for you, but you're wrong.
No, just Scorpios unite.
Yeah, you're still wrong. And
I base my opinion on things that were said.
No.
You're basing your opinion on what you think may have been said.
No. That's exactly what you did.
You're over
nice
here
try.
wishing upon
Don't
a
try
star
to overtalk me to make this better. You're over
here
really
wishing
bad.
upon a star on Disney. I'm just pointing out facts.
I will let you go. Go ahead. So go ahead and let you go ahead.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna make you feel good about yourself. Go ahead. Continue.
I feel great about myself because I don't need anybody to help pay for my mortgage.
And okay, you want to act like you don't see anything else. You made assumptions as well.
I don't see what you're talking about. Hold on.
Of course you don't. Of course.
Tamara Augustine says, Maria wants to be with a man like Terrell where she does not have to worry about the mortgage. I did say I would have covered the mortgage, but she'd have to pay something.
She never said she wouldn't pay for anything.
I don't get that she wants to. My vibe says she doesn't
Let me ask you a
pay for
question.
anything at all.
In the early stages of dating,
Yeah.
how many out of 10 dates, the first 10 dates, initial courtship, how many of those dates do you expect the woman to pay?
I expect her to. One of the first 4 dates, I expect her to either pay or chip in. I pay attention to it because if I notice that I'm the only one.
But you're not going to ask her to. You never.
I'm not going to ask her. I just want to see if she does. If she doesn't voluntarily,
see if she at least
step
offers.
Up,
yes.
She doesn't offer. Then by date 5, I'm done. I'm not interested because I know how this movie ends, where you want me to pay for everything, and that's not what I'm about. Because you can't. I had someone I dated briefly. Tell the story. Take me 5 seconds. Dated someone briefly.
4.
She had really good taste of what
2.
she liked. Never offered a credit card to pay for anything. I did all the time. So you got Ruth Chris taste, but you never want to offer to pay. That's a problem.
IL says, I'm with Maria, old-fashioned / traditional.
That just says I want someone to pay for me all the time. That's what a guy hears. If I say I want a woman that's old-fashioned and traditional, which means I want you to cook, clean, do laundry, I bet there's going to be a debate about that.
Now, BK Storyteller says, this is an interesting one. Said, I remember paying for a date in trauma as my date ordered $200 worth of food. That's when you get your ass up from the table and you walk out.
Why would you stay if he took? Yeah.
If you see a man trying to take advantage because you are offering to pay, you get your ass up, hey, and you walk the hell out.
Yeah.
And block him. And hopefully you didn't let him come to the house to pick you up.
Yeah. See? Tamara says 1 out of 4 dates is fair.
It's fair.
I agree.
But that's not, but again, that's your expectation. It's not what a lot of people do. There's some people who expect the man to pay for all of them early, and I get it. Some people do.